Okay, it's 12:04. I'm going to go ahead and get started. Good afternoon, everyone. I am Gina Boucher from Parson and Associates, and welcome to the 31st and Broadway Sewer Separation Meeting. I did want to remind you that the meeting today is going to be recorded and also uploaded to the KC Water website at a future date. Along with the utility relocation that's happening on Main Street right now, KC Water is also undertaking a sewer separation project at 31st and Broadway. And the purpose of the meeting today is to inform you and also answer any questions that you might have about that sewer separation project. Parson and Associates, where I work, we handle communications for the upgrades on Main utility relocation, as well as the 31st and Broadway project. So we are coordinating our communications across both projects. Shalon, can you go back one? Today, presenting and also answering your questions are Serini Valabanini of KC Water, Willie Williams, your project manager from Burns and McDonald, Curtis Bowling of Tetra Tech, and David Skaggs from Pyramid Excavation and Construction, and he's your construction contractor. And with that, I will hand the reins over to Serini to begin the presentation.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Serini Valabanini. I'm the Smart Sewer Officer here at KC Water. Welcome to this important public meeting about the 31st and Broadway Sewer Separation Project. This meeting is intended to help you have a better understanding of the city's sewer system and specifically the sewer infrastructure in your neighborhood. Learn about challenges KC Water is trying to solve through Smart Sewer program. And finally, how this project will affect your neighborhood during construction while we improving the sewer system in your area. So these are the three things that hopefully you will get out of this presentation and discussions. Next, please. Just to give you a quick, broader view of KC Water services and assets. We serve our customer needs for water, wastewater, and stormwater. And we manage an extensive list of public assets, as you could see, a few numbers on the screen. A few highlights. If you look at our system as a whole, as I said, very extensive water assets, specifically our underground pipe systems. We have almost 6,000 miles of underground pipes that moves water, whether it's drinking water, wastewater, or stormwater through our three water systems. This is a lot of pipe. Just to give a little feel for it, it's more than a round trip driving between New York City and Los Angeles. That's how much underground pipe we don't see, but that we own and manage. We also have one large water treatment plant and 6 wastewater treatment plants, safe drinking water and safely treating wastewater and discharge through that operation. We have a lot of other various assets in our system that that helps to move water from point A to point B. Next slide, please. Next slide, please. Let's focus on sewer systems. In Kansas City, we have 2 types of sewer systems, what we refer to combined sewer system and separate sewer system. In general, if you look at the map, you see there, we have central water parts of the service area, about 58 square miles, outlined by the green line on the screen, south of Missouri River. All are served by combined sewers. Some of these sewers dates back to 1857. Outside the combined sewer area, both on north and south of the Missouri River, about 260 square miles of the service areas is served by separate sewer systems. And both systems are important, what is intended for, but both poses some asset management and operational challenges, which is why we're talking about this project today. Next slide, please. It's a little bit of overview of what we call combined system, what we would call separate system, so that give you a good reference to our current efforts. Combined sewer system, you see in the figure on the screen, it's a single pipe conveyance system to take wastewater and stormwater and convey to wastewater treatment plant to be cleaned before it is discharged back into the Missouri River. As you can see on your screen, that blue line and gray line. Gray relates to the wastewater, blue part relates to the rainfall response and rainfall runoff and stormwater. They all mix it together. Now, during dry conditions, like right now, the wastewater is collected and then conveyed to the wastewater treatment plant for treatment. When it rains, some of the runoff also, stormwater runoff also get into these pipes mixed, and some of that flow still get the rainwater get to the treatment plant, but a majority can overflow to the receiving waters. That would what we call combined sewer overflow. In the second, next slide, please. The other system we have is the separate sewer system. In this particular case, you can see again the gray water gets into wastewater, or sanitary system that gets to the treatment plant, and the rainwater gets into the blue line pipe that takes the water to the receiving streams. That is that's how they intended to be. While the combined systems were originally designed to protect when the source surcharges and backups, the flow goes to the river, but they're designed to do overflow. However, we realized that create pollution concerns and then whatnot, and that's where the combined sewer overflow regulations came up, and our ongoing efforts to reduce overflows. Next slide, please. Some of the Kansas City challenges probably you already heard of in the past, but just to for the context purposes, we do have a sewer overflows I just talked about because of the combined systems in the areas we identified. And in addition to that, the designed system to overflow, but our systems also are aging. With aged systems have the condition issues. Like I said, some of the water sewers can go dates back to 1857. And that we have capacity constraints in the system that creates sewer backups and service issues. And any overflows or any to the receiving streams or any surface overflows, if at all any happens to it because of the operational issues, they all cause pollution concerns, water quality concerns, and then public health and safety issues. And while we are managing this vast amount of the underground system, our past sewer rates did not reflect actually true cost of maintaining this this wastewater infrastructure. I think amounts to be about 2,700 miles of sewer. So that is actually we're always catching up, trying to improve the systems, reduce overflows and such. That's a huge problem for us. And so as a result, because of the overflows, we do have a federally mandated consent decree to reduce combined sewer overflows and improve our water environment. And as you heard, as you know, we have what we call Smart Sewer program to conduct many projects to reduce overflows as mandated in the consent decree. Next slide, please. Next slide, please. So part of that Smart Sewer program, we are doing a variety of things, various solution types in combination to reduce that combined sewer overflows. Either through a single solution or in combination. You hear green infrastructure, sewer separation, which is the point of this project, sewer separation. In some cases, we improve capacity of the systems to contain the flow in the pipe system without overflowing. In separate systems, also take some of the not designed inflow infiltration into the source wet weather flow. That is reduction. So we have a variety of things on the sewer system side, but also adding additional treatment capacity for the wet weather flow. And an important part of moving the water was our pump stations and our treatment plants. So there's a variety of things all together. At this point, the total program cost is from 2010 to 2035 is $2.3 billion. Our consent decree was recently modified as of March of this year with extended completion time to program through 2040, but we have committed dollars through 2035 from the beginning of the program is $2.3 billion. This slide shows you generally various types of projects and the various parts of the system and the timelines. So you can see this is a 3-decade long program. We have, I would say, successfully completed first decade as of September last year. And we are into our next decade of travel towards the ultimately completing the program by 2040. Now, the program has many, many projects, but 31st and Broadway Sewer Separation Project is one piece of the Smart Sewer program. And it is required by the consent decree to be completed by December 31st, 2022. So again, KC Water in this area will be installing a second set of pipe to separate the combined system to one set of pipes to take the wastewater, one set of the pipes to take the stormwater, therefore helping us reduce water flows from 31st and Broadway neighborhood to the Penn Valley Park there. So this is the project, and Willie Williams will talk about in a few minutes, get into more project information. Willie?
Sure. So yeah, great. So yeah, as the project title says, this is the 31st and Broadway project. And essentially, as Srini described, it's a sewer separation project that's happening in the Turkey Creek Basin, roughly near 31st and Broadway. You can go to the next slide, please. So the aerial view shows generally where the project takes place. And we use some landmarks to give you an idea of where construction activities will occur. To the northwest of the area, you can see Penn Valley Park Lake, which is where everything in the basin drains to for the most part. Close to the center, you can see Main Street and several businesses that exist there, like Union Hill Animal Hospital. And right at the cross section of 31st and Main, you can see Wendy's there. That just kind of gives you a general overview of where the area we're working in is. You can go to the next slide, please. So this slide is another one that kind of just shows the project boundaries and delineates the project areas. Construction will generally be contained within the boundaries shown to the north 30th Street and to the south of Linwood Boulevard, Grand to the east and Broadway to the west. Originally, the project area was a little smaller, but as we began getting into the project and investigating, we found value in expanding the project area to pick up more separation. And also we were able to pick up some water main replacement along the way to help improve that system as well. You can go to the next slide. So this map shows the existing sewer infrastructure that is in the area now. The purple lines indicate what is currently combined, green is what is currently the sanitary, and the blue is the storm. And as everybody knows, or so as you may know, the sanitary sewer conveys your sanitary flows from your public businesses, or it could be residential in some cases. The storm sewers pretty much convey the storms when they happen. So when it rains outside, what happens is storm water collects into the storm collection system, and it is conveyed generally to public streams. In the combined system, as Srini did a good job describing earlier, is that it conveys both. And so it's a technology that we're migrating away from. You can go to the next slide, please. Just get into more details. So we're separating 35 acres of the city's combined sewer system and replacing 1,500 linear feet of water main. So part of the sewer separation work will be to eliminate the combined sewer outfall W006 and diversion structure 306. Within combined sewer systems exist combined sewer outfalls, and they are designed to discharge combined sewer flow into public streams when the collection system capacity is exceeded by a large storm. So what happens is when you get a really big storm event, the pipes that are under the ground, they get overwhelmed. And so the combined sewer outfalls can be viewed as a relief point for the system. What diversion structures do is they divert storm flow during the rain event to public streams. And so essentially, again, during this big storm, the pipes become overwhelmed, and what they'll do is they'll hit a diversion structure. And what happens is that diversion structure, it helps water get out to a relief point. With that flow that goes out to that relief point, not only is it stormwater, but it does collect a small portion of the sanitary. And that's why we don't necessarily like those types of situations when they happen. So again, during dry weather, the combined sewer conveys sanitary flow to wastewater pumping stations or to a wastewater treatment plant. And again, during that large storm event, like I said, the system gets overwhelmed. And so we look for that, the flow looks for a relief point, and that's where the outfalls happen. This project received notice to proceed on April 28th, so last week, and the contractor and the design professional, Pyramid Construction and Tetra Tech have been working diligently, reviewing plans and coming up with a plan for construction and reviewing what are called submittals for the different structures that will go in the ground. And so we, just as a project team, have been working pretty good to just keep the project on track and do what we can as far as coordinating with the other projects that are happening in the area with some of the upgrades on Main Street. You can go to the next slide. The project will have several benefits to the stakeholders in the Turkey Creek Basin. We're going to get improved stormwater collection and conveyance, which can help to reduce the ponding that you may have previously experienced in the area. We're going to improve the reliability of the water distribution system as we replace 1,500 feet of water mains along Central and Wyandotte. We're doing some rehab to some of the existing sewers in the area, such as CIPP lining and point repairs, as well as replacing and rehabbing manholes and some of the storm inlets. We're adding permeable pavers in the alley behind contract furnishings, which will greatly reduce ponding that happens in that area. And the ultimate benefit of the project is we will be improving the water quality of local streams, specifically the Penn Valley Lake. You can go to the next slide, please. So this map is what our system will look like, or what your system will look like when it is fully completed. You can see where we're going to put new sanitary and new storm in some places. We're going to completely separate the combined sewer. And again, we're going to remove that divergent structure completely, and that combined sewer outfall will be gone. The pipe will still exist, but it'll be only storm flow that it sees. So again, no more CSO for that outfall. You can go to the next slide. And so what you can expect during construction, crews will be accessing and working in easement areas, temporary lane closures and traffic disruptions, large equipment creating noise and dusty conditions, and restricted access to building fronts. This is stuff that you guys are probably experiencing right now with the other upgrades that are happening on Main Street. So we're adding to it, but ultimately it's for the benefit of everyone in the long run. And to provide, a more reliable sewer system for the residents, and again, cleaner public streams. This is, I think that's all I have. John or David, if you want to add anything to what residents in the area could expect during construction, you can feel free to say anything right now if you want. If not, we can just go to the next slide.
Doing good, Willie. Hi everyone, my name is Taylor Rippey and I'm also with Parson Associates. So as well as helping with communications on this project, I'm also helping with communications on the upgrades on Main, which I'm sure you all know about, which is the where Casey Water is making improvements to the aging water and sewer infrastructure, along with 15 plus private utilities relocating to pave the way for the Casey streetcar. So as part of that, every Friday before noon, we send a weekly construction update that will let you know what to expect on the corridor the following week. So as part of that, we will include construction activities related to this project. So if you're not signed up for that weekly construction update, I would highly recommend signing up. You can find that at kcwater.us/upgrades on Main. I also sent it in the chat a little bit too early, so I can send it again so you can find it. Along with that, you will receive, property owners will receive door hangers 7 to 14 days before disruption as related to construction on this 31st and Broadway project. You can also visit the project webpage for more specific information as it relates to 31st and Broadway. That QR code will take you directly to the website, or you can find it at kcsmartsewer.us/31st Street. If you want to go to the next slide, you'll see these are our project contacts. So if you have any issues during construction, you can see we have the construction contractors' contact information on there, along with those city representatives, Willie, Brian Hess, and Curtis Bowling. So feel free to contact them if you have questions or concerns during the project. But from here, we'll actually be taking any questions. So feel free to unmute yourself, ask us anything if you want to hear any more information about the project.
Okay, there's a couple of ways you can ask questions. You can drop them in the chat box like Stan did already and already got a question answered. Or you can click on your reactions icon on the bottom of your screen and choose raise hand. I also think we're a pretty small group today, so if we overlook you, just speak up, please. We want to answer all of your questions. I'm going to first read over Stan's questions. He said, would it be possible to get the PowerPoint presentations? And Taylor answered that yes, they are going to be on that kcsmartsewer.us/31st Street website, but we'll also send them to you via email. And then Kathy, you have your hand up.
Yeah, I live on Walnut Street between 30th and 31st Street. So how long will, I mean, our street is shut off on the south end now. So to get out, I drive through the KCPT parking lot.
Okay.
I guess that's how you get out of here. And will we always be able to do that? Or it doesn't look like there's any pipe directly down Walnut Street. It looks like it's in the alley between
Willie,
us and Main.
Are you able to answer that, Willie?
Yeah, I'm looking for, so is the question, will you continue to have access to your street, Kathy?
Well, from our street to 31st Street and out like we do now. It's a weird way out. You have to cut through a parking lot to get out.
Oh, wow, okay.
Or else you have to go. There's only 3 houses on the street.
Oh.
So it's really no big deal, but it's kind of weird.
David Skaggs or John Wright, are you guys able to talk right now? They're the contractors. We should be able to maintain at least what you have right now at a minimum. But John, do you have any?
Yeah, I mean, really, mainly all our work is on 31st Terrace going west off of Main Street. We have that little bit at the intersection of 31st and Main, but we run parallel with Main and not too far up. And I don't think we'll.
It's at 31st and Walnut. They have.
Yeah, we won't go up that far.
Well,
But
sorry,
there's part of the street dug out already.
Well, they will have it. We tie in right there at the intersections, but I don't even think we cross 31st Street.
this is Bridget Harper. I was part of the design team. We do have sewer rehabilitation that cuts across Walnut, and
Right.
there's some manholes in the middle of Walnut that we will be doing rehab on. So
Right.
there may be partial lane closures for a short period of time during the day. But that work is quick. That's like a 1 day max
Okay.
in and out thing. If you are having problems with access on 31st, that is probably related to the streetcar project. And the information that Taylor posted with that QR code, if you go to the website, you can get some more information on that project and when that'll be open. I don't know if Taylor, if you can provide a direct contact to that contractor that she could ask the questions of when that'll be open again, but that would probably be helpful.
Yeah, I can definitely,
would be.
I'll put in the chat our email and phone number that you can contact us directly.
Okay, thank you.
Thanks for the question, Kathy.
Thank you very much.
Anybody else? Any questions? We can go ahead and close the meeting now, but I wanted to leave this screen up for you to either snap a picture or write down the contact information.
Yeah.
And also remember that you can go to the 2 websites that Taylor posted in the chat box. And they're updated very frequently. You can also, Kathy, I don't know if you're on our Upgrades on Main newsletter email.
I sure am.
Okay, great.
Mhm.
And, you know,
That's
just
good.
be sure you can contact us anytime, either way. For this project, these are the contacts, but if you happen to call Upgrades on Main, we'll make sure you get to the right people.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you all.
All right.
for coming.
Have a good day.
You too.
Have a good day.
Thank you. Bye now.
Bye.
Thank you.